Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about the ACRONYM Fall/Winter 2223 collection, of which the first retailer's drop will be this Friday. First I want to take a fast look at what we have seen already from it, because there already have been 2 drops. From the mother side, of which I did not do a video because, well, they suddenly dropped unannounced, and at that moment I didn't have time to do a video. So I'm gonna do a quick run through and not focus on that too much, because I want to talk about what is still coming. And just to be clear, all the information that I will be discussing about that is information that I found on Super Future Forum and the Techwear Clothing Reddit Discord server. So if you closely follow either of these media, there will probably not be much news for you in this video. But if you don't and you want to know what's coming for ACRONYM, you might want to stick around. So what has been released yet? The LA6B DS, still an amazing shirt. I'm wearing it right now, actually, because I wear it all the time. So it's a re-release of that, which is really nice, I think, because I presume a lot of people would like to have it too. And it's all, as we can see now, it's almost sold out. This time it was also released in Alpha Green. To be honest, it was really difficult for me to not get this one, because I think it looks absolutely amazing. I mean, it's a great shirt, but it also looks really cool in Alpha Green. So I feel some regret of not having copped it, but since I already have the LA10DS, I just, I can't afford another dry skin shirt. And I love my LA10DS too, because it's a very different silhouette, so I like to have different kinds of clothing, but this one also looks amazing. But that's not what we're talking about today. We have the P50E, also I think a quite cool looking pant, very, well, kind of minimalistic. It has the top of the P38, that was very popular. It actually looks quite like the P38 AD, which also had these pockets and then like a plain front, only that had jogger cuffs, and these cuffs are just kind of wide, which I think is a cool look. It goes a bit more towards like a avant-garde kind of style, which isn't weird, of course, since we know that Errolson is also a big Rick Owens fan, since he posts being at the fashion show almost every year. So yeah, cool pant, not really my thing. I wouldn't get pants with such wide cuffs, because I just don't think that's very convenient, and these pants would be really terrible to cycle in. And we also have the P45AE, which is actually a pant I do really like. That's quite... and there's like, my size is still available, but I'm not gonna get it, because I'm just not gonna get it. But I really do like how it looks. It's very... I mean, I like the P45E already, but I think this one is even cooler because the cuffs can be cinched like this. I mean, come on, this looks really cool. Don't necessarily like the cargo pockets on it, but as a whole, it's cool. And what I like the most about the P45 is like this fold over piece of fabric on the front that's just really nice. Kind of a combination of old and new designs. I mean, these detached cargos, of course, we know from the P30s and P24s. And I'm glad to see more tension zips again on ACRONYM pants, because tension zips are the best. And this is also a cool detail thing. I have a few like military cargos that also have this, like a Velcro patch on the side by which you can cinch the waist, which gives you the opportunity to wear these pants without a belt if you wanted to. And then after the drop of these 2 garments, there was also a drop of a few bags. Not really gonna go into that because, well, I just don't really care for bags, to be honest. I do think this is a cool look with the foil reverse X-Pack thing. A lot of people seem to really hate it. Also, if you look at, I mean, none of them are sold out, so they're not really selling that fast. But I personally think it's cool. I think it looks cool. I think it's very different. If you would have one of these bags, it would unmistakably be an ACRONYM bag, but I just don't like sling bags. I just don't want to have a thing on one of my shoulders. I like backpacks. So I do really like this small bag though. It's like a backpack for a cyberpunk gnome, which is really cute, but I mean, it's like 280 euros. It just doesn't make any sense to buy this for me. Okay, so that was what has been released yet. So now to take a look at what we can expect. First, I'm going to talk about the leaks, which are the pictures that have been swimming around on the internet for the past few weeks. How do they get leaked, you might ask? Well, Acronym is growing quite a bit right now, so the pool of retailers at which they are selling is growing also, which has led to a few of these retailers leaking pictures to, I guess, friends of theirs, of which, of course, some are on the social media where people discuss Acronym stuff, and that makes it, of course, a great social currency to brag to your friends about, because you know someone who has a store or whatever. The first picture we're looking at is the J101 GT, which is a new Gore-Tex Pro jacket. What the J100 will be is still a mystery, to my knowledge. I guess this, because it's the 100th jacket, will probably be something special and a mother's site exclusive release, but this is the 101. Kind of a minimalistic and plain looking jacket. I mean, this is cool detail. We are looking at the multicolor version. I know for a fact that there also will be an entire white, a RAF and a black version. Underneath he's wearing a t-shirt or maybe long sleeve, maybe the S29, I will talk about later a bit. And the pants, which are quite anticipated, are the P44 DS, which is kind of like a wider version of the P24, which has always been very popular. So I know a lot of people are waiting for these. This is a bit of a closer look at the P44s. Besides the fact that it's wider than the P24, one of the big differences is that the knee articulation is a bit different. As we can see here, there's some diagonal paneling going on here, which I think looks interesting. This is a shot from the side, which is also nice. We still have the cinching ability at the bottom. I've actually talked to someone who has already worn this at a retailer somewhere, and he says it's actually not that much wider than a P24. And here are some nice details. There is a cinching mechanism at the waist, just like there is on the P38E, which I think is really nice, especially since Acronym pants are usually quite wide. So it's really nice to have a way to cinch it a bit, even when you're gonna wear a belt with it, so that if you loosen your belt, it doesn't immediately drop to your knees. And we can see that the raid pocket is a bit different because it seems to have just one snap button instead of two. There will also be a black version, of course, as well as a gray version. So we have the RAF, black, and gray versions that will be released. These are actually already at retailers. I have seen just today they were already dropped at Cultism, as we can see here. Again, I don't know what it is, but retailers seem to always size Acronym on their models by waist, which is just really not the way to go. I really believe Acronym should be sized by length, and if that means that the pants are too wide, then that's just how the fit is supposed to be, because if we look at the information of this model, this guy is 183, which is the same length Errolson claims to be, and he's wearing a small, which is just ridiculous, of course. I mean, who at 183 wears a small? That's just not, and we can see that the pants are way too short for him. This is definitely not how these pants are supposed to fit. This guy should be wearing at least an M or maybe even a large. But seeing he's quite skinny, he would probably be okay with an M, but a small is definitely too short for him. Dutch shop, O'Ollery, still don't know how you're supposed to pronounce this. Also has made some shots. You can see here that they just announced, they announced that it will be Thursday. Sorry, I was mistaken at the beginning of the video. At the beginning of the video, I said Friday, but it's obviously Thursday. So they have a shot here of another P44. This time it looks like sized a bit better. I really think the pants should hit the shoe. RF version. This one looks a bit short. Some more detail shots. black version. So another pan that will be released this drop is the P43 GT, a new Gore-Tex Pro pant, which I know quite a few people are very enthusiastic about. I think it looks okay. To be honest, it just kind of looks like a ski pant to me. I don't think it's that exciting. I mean, this multi-colorway is cool, but somehow also a little bit clownish in my opinion. But here we have some detail shots. There's one pocket like this, which kind of looks like a P23 pocket. Okay, so this is kind of cool. It looks like this is a mezzanine pocket, and then probably this is a zippered pocket. So these are actually two pockets in one. These are probably deep pockets, and this, I presume, is an opening to get to the pants you are wearing under these, because these are shell pants and are meant to be worn as a shell over other pants like P10s, for instance. Here is a total shot of the P43. P43 will be released in black, RAF, and a multicolor. As we can see on this picture and on the picture of the Dutch store, there is the cuffs can be zipped, which I think is nice. This is probably how it looks zipped. Then we have the S29 PR. I think this is A. It's a long sleeve with a cool sleeve detail. I believe there's like double fabric here. This is what the back looks like. I personally don't really like this graphic. I mean, I understand it's supposed to be like a graffiti kind of vibe, but I just think it looks a bit messy. I don't really like it. Which is too bad, because I would have liked a long sleeve, but I don't think I will get this graphic. I believe these will also be released in a white version and a black version, like most of the things from this season. All right, so then we also have this vest, which will be called the V91WS, which means it will probably, well, it looks like a J91 without sleeves. So I guess it will be a Primaloft insulator with a windstopper outer, and the pockets look just similar to, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's a J91 without the sleeves. So then we have this jacket, the J95 PL, which is kind of interesting for a few reasons. The first is that the name. So what has confused me a bit in the past is that different acronym insulators all are called either WS or PL, even though they all have Primaloft insulation and windstopper exterior. For instance, the J58 WS is a insulator with Primaloft and windstopper, as is the J91 WS. But a few jackets were initially made as just a windstopper jacket, like the J68 WS, which was then also released as an insulator, which was then called the J68 PL, as is the case with this J95, which already was released as a J95 WS this summer and is now also turned into a insulator, which because of that is called the J95 PL, I guess, even though it also has a WS outer shell. So another interesting fact about this jacket, which you cannot see on this picture, but I know for a fact, is that like most insulators has an aux zip in the neck, but it also will come with a storm hood. And that's quite special, I think, because as far as I know, this might be the first acronym insulator with a removable hood. I personally don't know of any. If you do, please let me know in the comments below. I mean, I don't know everything. And this jacket will also be released in RAF and black. Then another quite anticipated jacket is the J1W TS GT. Quite a mouthful. So this is a Gore-Tex version of the very much sought after J1 TSS, which was released in Stutz Eddaproof. And as you can see, this is a dual tone version, which looks a lot like this one, but is kind of the opposite of the original, which is kind of cool. It will also be released in a black, RF, and a white version. I think the white version will be quite popular upon release. Then there is the J107SS, made of Schoeller WB400, which is like a soft shell fabric, insulating as well as water and wind repellent. If I'm really honest, this looks kind of dull to me. It looks like something you can buy in an outdoor store from like Arc'teryx or the Mammut or some other outdoor brand. It's probably very comfortable and convenient. It has pockets. It's probably a good insulator. But I have also heard quite a few people complain about the fact that SS, which is Schoeller WB400, can delam. I don't really understand how that works on a soft shell, but I guess it can. I've seen pictures of it. You get the same bubbly patches if you don't wash it enough, I guess. There are some more detailed shots of it. I mean, it's a cool looking fabric. I just don't think that the design of this jacket is particularly exciting. It's a jacket. Then there will be quite a few NGs, neck gaiters, released this winter. Also neck gaiters with crazy animal patterns on them like this. Arlson apparently really likes animal patterns. We've seen him wear garments and shoes with animal patterns on it, so he's now also releasing ACRONYM pieces with it. I'm not a big fan, but you know, I've said that before about things and then the brainworms start to work and I suddenly like it after a while. I know just a normal NG4 will be releasing in black, and that there also will be a SS version of the NG4. Then there's this thing, which is kind of interesting. It's the S32PX, which has Primaloft insulation and a PX outer. I think it's a very cool design. It looks super futuristic. Makes me kind of think of Raised by Wolves. So I like that this is being released. It's not necessarily something I would buy or wear because I just think it's a bit too puffy for my taste. But I think it's cool. I like it. I like that it looks different, and we'll definitely turn heads with this. I know that there will also be a gold version of this. All right, so then last but definitely not least, the re-release of the P23 ADS, a pant that has been one of the most loved and sought after and resold pants that ACRONYM released ever, is getting a re-release this winter. I know for sure that I'm getting one because I also have been wanting one for a very long time, which is also the reason I have sold my P30 actually, because I think that this is kind of like just a tad slimmer version of the P30, which I think will fit my style a bit more. We know from the previous release that there were some issues with the belt system, so I hope that those will have been resolved now. I don't believe these will be released this week, but in a drop a bit further along the winter, which gives me a bit of anxiety because I really want them, and I really hope that they will be released in a big enough quantity for everyone who wants one to get one, because people are really gonna want to get this. So yeah, I for one am very excited about this. I think overall it's going to be a very good season. I know that there are going to be some other items that I have not mentioned today that will also be releasing. So there will be more pieces at retailers than I've mentioned today. And besides that, of course, there will also be a few other mother side exclusive drops, which I'm always also very excited about. So let me know what you think. Did you hear some new stuff today? Was this just old news for you? And have you already looked at all these pictures a million times? What do you think about it? Are you gonna get anything? Are you gonna let this pass? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to talk to you guys, as you very well know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.